No cookies for Destiny this time. Now, look, the reason why I'm talking about this is because this is very relevant to what we talk about here at Hard Lens Media. Of course, we talk about free speech. We talk about having open dialogue and debates and conversations with people. But I've never seen someone make such a stupid statement that could potentially not only ruin their career and their impact on social media, their social media footprint, but it's the most heartless, dumbest thing I've ever seen. Now, the assassination attempt on Donald Trump is something that I am glad did not happen. Okay. I am glad that Donald Trump is okay. I am glad that he is safe. However, unfortunately, a person did lose their life at that event. Now, no matter what, this incident should not have happened. It was a failure by the security. It's a failure of every single person that was there in that area. And I'm just glad that things did not go down a very dark path. The world is already grim dark as it is. But somebody like Destiny decided to cheer for the death of Trump supporters. Now, I can have disagreements with people. I can have disagreements with Trump supporters, libertarians, Greens, socialists, independents, liberals, all of that good stuff. I can do that. But if you have to resort or lower yourself saying that you want harm or death to your opponent because what, they speak different or they think differently than you, then you've definitely lost the message. And perhaps maybe being involved in political science, commentary, and debate is not a location in which you should be in. So the video I'm going to play is very stupid. It is Destiny pretty much. This video is what cost him not only to be monetized on Twitter, but also got him kicked off of Kick. Now, you have to work extra hard to be removed off the Kick platform. You really have to, be big-brained stupid to do something of that magnitude, to be kicked off a Kick like that. So let's go ahead and play this video. And to be clear here, again, what happened to Donald Trump last weekend was not right. It should never have happened at all, period. And now forever, we are going to be stuck with a what-if scenario of what if things went wrong, really wrong. But we cannot forget that people did get hurt, and one person, a firefighter, did lose his life trying to protect his family.
The dude, the firefighter guy, Trump, the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay, just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine, and
I just want you to know that if you think like this, you are a piece of garbage. If you are wishing death on somebody because they have a different set of ideas than you, because they have a different political ideology than you, then you are actually the problem. I'm an independent leftist, and I would never celebrate someone getting killed in the crossfire solely because of who they support. This is once again proof that it's not Trump supporters who are the enemy of the people. It's actually people like Destiny, if we're going to be real about it. That man is a piece of human garbage. He isn't leftist. I wouldn't even call him a liberal. He's just garbage. That's the
truth right there. So I want to pull this up here because, look, I'm all for the First Amendment. People have every right to say what they want to say. But you also have to know how to read the room. This assassination attempt on Donald Trump is probably one of the most significant moments of our lifetimes, because for a long time, the history books always showed us the photos, the videos, the documentaries of presidents almost being assassinated or being assassinated. The likes of Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, William McKinley, we got JFK, Ronald Reagan, and now Donald Trump. I only can imagine the horrible scenario of what would happen if things really went dark. But I'm going to pull up this video here because it's a rare moment. It's a rare moment where Piers Morgan looks like the most reasonable person in the room, because I'm all for free speech again. But if you're going to be sitting up here trying to act like the moral authority and claiming that the other side is evil, and yet you are doing the same thing, then you've lost the argument. I can have disagreements with people, but we have to remember, at the end of the day, people are complex. people have different perspectives and points of view, and it is to be respected. But when you start going down the pathway of saying, oh, well, they deserve this, or they're just as vile, so it should happen to them, so I shall act the same way, then you're no better.
Yeah, but
When you are in a world where conservatives can say anything,
No, I'm not a
they can have
conservative.
any conspiracy
I'm not
theory,
a conservative.
they can have any plot, they can do anything, and then liberals are
All right,
supposed to sit
Destiny,
here and be like,
Destiny,
oh my
no.
God, it's so tragic.
No, Destiny,
Absolutely not.
Let me explain.
Absolutely.
Let me explain my position, because I'm not a conservative. I'm not on either side in your race, right? Here's what I think about what you did. You'd like to fire off, as you've done so far in this debate, about your fury at how disgusting Republicans are, how inhumane they are, how they never have any empathy, blah, 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 blah. And then you yourself actually are exactly the person that you're describing. You are inhuman. You are somebody who seems almost gleeful that a young firefighter with a family, with a wife and children, who he was protecting as he was shot dead, that he deserved what was coming to him because he went to a President Trump rally, a man who was president of the United States until recently for 4 years and maybe again. You sound almost gleeful, Destin, and I'm sorry. That makes you, frankly, despicable.
I don't think I'm gleeful about anything. I don't think anybody should die. I don't think anybody deserves to die. But you want to talk about gleeful? Look at the conservative response to Pelosi's husband when they broke in.
I can answer that.
Mainstream media
I can answer that.
No. People were laughing. They weren't gleeful. They were laughing because there's been a lot of commentary surrounding Pelosi, her husband, their insider trading deals, and a lot of other shenanigans that should be, well, let's just face it, the door should be closed. But there was a lot of hammering going on. What? Because after all, there's just a couple of things suspicious about that incident that went down at Nancy Pelosi's little old house.
I don't care.
I can answer that.
With all due respect, I don't care what your answer is.
Let me answer that.
The reality is that conservatives have been turning the temperature up on the rhetoric. They have been making fun of these types of events for years, and now when something happens to them, now they're looking for sympathy from the liberal side. Absolutely not. It's insane. It's unhinged that you can conduct yourself in such a manner and expect people to feel sorry when things happen.
Why should anybody on the right listen to a word of your hectoring and lecturing about how they should behave? And by the way, for the record, the mockery of Nancy Pelosi's husband when he was attacked by an intruder with a hammer was also despicable, right? I can see despicable behavior on all sides, and I'm happy to call it out when I see it. You, however, want to present yourself as this great kind of standard bearer of decency, who sees outrageous behavior on the right time and again and is incensed by this disgusting, inhumane behavior. And yet time and again, since the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, you have displayed exactly the same kind of inhumane behavior. Fuck him about a fireman who is killed because he attends a rally of a guy he wants to vote for.
My issue with the MAGA kids is not that they are not empathetic. My issue is that they support a president that led an insurrection against the United States. I'm not here to tone.
And again, what we have to look at, and the reason why this is kind of important, because this has to deal with the media, the Democrats, the liberal sphere, creating this whole phase of Trump derangement syndrome. A lot of people will be looking back, especially at 2016, when it really intensified, when people started viewing Donald Trump as Hitler 2.0, or the great evil, the destroyer of democracy, which is not the case at all. But when you have this myth, this story being told that Russia got involved and Trump's going to do this and he's going to become a dictator for life, when the corporate media starts spewing out that crap, and it does, it still is doing that, you have people like Destiny who have a large social media platform in which, of course, people consume it. You know, when I say jokingly, hey, hug a liberal because they're not okay, a lot of them are not okay. A lot of them are right now probably coming to terms with the fact that Joe Biden most likely will, and I say this with absolute confidence, will lose the 2024 election. Voter turnout and enthusiasm for Trump will probably reach an all-time high, and Biden and the Democrats will be struggling. It will be a miracle if Biden and the Democrats are able to win the 2024 election cycle, but that is yet to be seen. But when you have a platform and you start gloating and saying, I'm happy something happened to Trump supporters, well, who is to say that they won't do the same against anyone else? This is how a cycle of hatred continues on, and it has to be broken. The wheel has to be broken. And we have to remember that when you get in this fear, especially on social media, everyone has a million opinions. Everyone has different perspectives and points of view. But if you start gloating and wanting this, it does make you inhumane. A person did lose their life, and the whole incident could have gone far, far worse, in which there would have been no road or pathway to recovery.
Police over their empathy.
80
I'm just saying
million
that if you're
people
gonna ask
voted for Donald
empathy,
Trump last time
I'm just saying,
round.
that's great. 80 million people voted for a guy that tried to insurrect the government, and it looks like they might try to do it again. I mean, like, I don't know what you want me to say. These are the facts on the ground. The idea that
So you don't like
sympathy,
attacks on democracy. So presumably you would unreservedly condemn the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, because that's one of the most egregious attacks on American democracy in modern times. Presumably,
I don't think that
you will
anybody
take
should
this
be trying
opportunity,
to-
given you
I
are
don't think
so
anybody-
determined to protect the integrity of democracy, you would find it absolutely outrageous that someone has tried to assassinate a president, right?
If the other conservatives on this show want to say that it was absolutely outrageous
I'm
that Donald
asking
Trump
you.
attempted to coup the government,
I'm asking you.
then maybe I would. Yeah, no, I'm not going to get on my knees and beg for forgiveness or show sympathy to conservatives.
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking you to condemn what happened as an egregious attack on democracy. Can you do that?
No, I won't. No, I won't. I won't.
You can't do that. You see, so why the hell,
Absolutely
frankly,
not.
Destiny,
Absolutely not.
why the
Absolutely
hell
not.
should we listen to
Absolutely
a
not.
word you have to say
Wait, hold on.
about...
Why do you think conservatives haven't been listening to a word that liberals have said about anything for 8 years?
Right,
what do you
but
think
why
is going to
should
change?
they?
You think
But
that if
here's my
liberals
point,
come out now
Destiny.
and they go, "Oh my God, this was so horrible,"
But here's
they're
my
going to go,
point.
"Wow, that is true."
Here,
Maybe
wait a
Donald
second.
Trump should also like
Charlie,
turn the rhetoric down a little bit.
I'll bring you in at the end of this. I promise you, and you'll get a good chance to respond. But here's my problem, Destiny, with your whole position on this, right? Is that you don't actually have anything inside you that you want the other side to have. You don't have any of the empathy. You don't have any sympathy. You don't care that someone tried to assassinate
I'm not
Donald Trump.
asking for
You don't
empathy
care
and
that a young
sympathy. You don't-
fireman
you
with a
don't need
family
any of that.
was
I'm not
killed in the
asking for
process. You don't
Just don't
actually.
support an
You are not
insurrectionist.
the person you want these other people to be, and all you do is play whataboutery with every question I give you. And I'm just
Well,
startled.
it's
that
not
some-
what about it. We're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about the temperature of this country. But here's a question for the two panelists. What percentage of this event happening was due to Donald Trump's rhetoric? What do they think the answer to that question is?
What percentage could it be that the other side, as we've just heard from Dave Rubin, has spent 8 years calling Donald Trump the new Adolf Hitler?
And that right there is a problem. Because, you had a lot of people, just case in point, I want to pull up the mirror here, calling Obama the great dictator. Now, Obama did a lot of shady things. He helped intensify the neoliberal nightmare. So many people were thinking Obama was going to become a dictator for life. Well, no, he's just a puppet master behind the scenes. But all of this fear, especially the way Republican lawmakers are putting on that whole song and dance when Obama bent over backwards and gave a lot of Republican lawmakers everything they wanted. It was all one big kabuki show. And yet corporate media with Fox News helped promote that, helped promote the division, play a quick one over the American people. And corporate media did the same thing with Donald Trump, calling him Hitler, calling him this and that. And with everyone being so hypercharged and all of us being connected to our internet, you're going to have some mentally unhinged people be affected by the words that are coming out of CNN or MSNBC or anyone else that's doing commentary calling Trump this next big threat, which he is not. Trump and Hitler are two different people altogether. But when you constantly keep on promoting this and having videos and content out there, bringing out the worst in people's minds, people are going to act irrationally in an irrational environment.
A person who was responsible for the murder of 12 million people, including 6 million Jewish people in a Holocaust. Last time I checked, Donald Trump hasn't murdered 12 million people. So much as you would like him to be the new Hitler, he's not. But again, to an impressionable young deranged mind who has easy access to guns, that can be easily interpreted as an existential threat, said President Biden. Somebody that needs to be put in the bullseye, said Biden.
Okay,
Only last week. And guess what? Somebody then comes forward and tries to kill the existential threat.
Rhetoric?
Now, here's the situation. When you get, especially when you make Piers Morgan look like the reasonable person in the room, you must be an all-star stellar performer. However, Destiny, in his infinite wisdom, not only got banned from Kick, but also potentially got demonetized on Twitter as well. And I want to pull this up here because it's an article, because there's always, here's the thing. When you have free speech, You have to remember that these platforms are all owned by corporations, so we're all renting the space. Ideally, this should be a public platform. And let's be clear here. With free speech, you are going to get speech that you don't want to see or like. And yes, you're going to have people go off on the deep end. But Destiny, as it has been stand right now, has been banned on Kick and gets demonetized on X. So what happened? Political streamer Steven Destiny has been banned on Kick. The content creator has become the talk of the town ever since he shared his thoughts on the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. During a live stream on July 16, 2024, the Nebraska native revealed that his official X account had been locked because of a post he made about an individual killed at the political rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where Trump was shot. Earlier today, reports surfaced on X stating that Destiny was banned on Kick. X user Feared Buck posted. After being demonetized on X a few days ago, Kick has banned Destiny for continuously making fun of an innocent firefighter who got killed at the Pennsylvania rally. When addressing the streamer's Kick channel, the following message appears. 404, oops, something went wrong. And case in point, here's the example right here. There we go. Political influencer Destiny banned on Kick. He was reportedly banned for disrespecting the innocent firefighter who was killed during Donald Trump's rally. And yes, even Elon Musk decided to weigh in. You're right. This is not appropriate for advertisers, which really says a lot about Elon Musk, free speech advocate, because when you have free speech, you're going to be dealing with speech you don't want to see. Now, do I think Destiny being removed off these platforms is going to solve anything? No. You have many unhinged people, especially other influencers, who are very triggered by Donald Trump, and they have their opinions. Now, corporate media does play a game in keeping people divided. And of course, you have, again, peak physical condition Destiny says, this is the effing retard that got iced at the Trump rally. And he starts laughing his ass off. Starts laughing at an innocent man who died for no reason. And of course, when you have stuff like this, Destiny is, of course, going to capitalize on it because now he got kicked. Hey, Destiny, your account has been temporarily suspended due to a breach of terms of service. Now, like I said before, I'm all for free speech, but I'm not for stupidity. Read the room. You can have disagreements with your opponents. You can have disagreements with people who might think differently than you. But with an incident as severe as what happened last weekend against Donald Trump, if you start gloating and promoting that, of course you're going to get blowback. And of course you're going to get a gut check. And it kind of leads one to wonder just how stupid you have to be, especially with everything that's happening in this election cycle, with emotions so hypercharged. There's only one way to truly end the segment, and that is words from the great Norman Finkelstein about Destiny. Case in point right here.
Mr. Bennell, don't change the subject. If you don't know what you're talking about, at least have the humility. You talk about chapter 6. You don't know chapter 6.
How close has 242 gotten to the Palestinians' peace?
From tweet 5. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's just so embarrassing. At least have some humility. Between us, we've read maybe 10,000 books on the topic, and you've read 2 Wikipedia entries, and you start talking about chapter 6. Do you know what chapter 7 is?
Answer me.
You know,
special intent. Did you read the case?
Yeah.
It is a highly special intent.
I'm going to ask you again.
Yes.
Please stop displaying your imbecility.
Okay, I'm sorry if you think the declaration of the judge is imbecile.
Don't put on public display that you're a moron. At least have the self-possession to shut up. Did I read the Mr.
I think it's a perfect way to end it. Don't be stupid. Don't display your ignorance. And when it comes down to people, you have to understand, especially people like Destiny, that firefighter was minding his own business, just like anybody else attending any kind of political rally. You know, we have many independent candidates. We even have Biden rallies, all of this other stuff. You have innocent people there going there to show support for their said candidate. What happened over the weekend should never have happened at all. But if you are a major influencer with millions upon millions of people watching you, it is your social responsibility to try and help pave a way to a better future. Now, yes, Are there people on both sides, hell, across the political spectrum that are negative and huge pieces of shite? Absolutely. Absolutely, there are. But that doesn't mean it has to be the normal. That doesn't mean that people can't change. And that doesn't mean that the vast majority of us cannot come to terms with each other and actually maybe build something. For far too long, we have been divided. For far too long, we've had corporate media divide us from actually trying to achieve great things. Now, Destiny made his bed. He's got to sleep in it. At the end of the day, though, there are others like him who are also going to be spewing this out. And the only way to stop hate and division across the political spectrum is for us to be better, to us to push forward together. And maybe someday we get to a better future.